We just celebrated, the fact that Christ is no longer in the grave and he's risen. We shout the victory, but now what? What does that mean for us? And the resurrection was for relationship. That's an important thing to remember. It wasn't so we could have an Easter and that we could have just a Christian religion. Christ rose from the dead and came back, went and paid all that price for relationship. He wants to have a relationship with people. And that's his deepest desire. And to think that he would sacrifice everything to get that and then go sit down. And he is seated at the right hand of the Father. That's a sign of authority. But to think that he doesn't care now or cares very little is just ludicrous. He's as excited about his relationship with us now as he was before the cross and during the cross and after the cross and during the resurrection. Why? Because that was his goal, is that he wanted to be, he wanted to be head over heels in love with us, and he wanted us to have the freedom to choose to be in love with him and not be forced into it. I just got to throw in here that it's amazing how many people say, well, if God was love, why did he let this bad thing happen to me? But you understand, if God starts intervening in everybody's life and manipulating everybody, and all those people that made a choice to shoot somebody, he stops them. Do you realize then this whole ball game changed? You realize then his love for mankind to be like him, to be free to make a choice, to be free to love freely without being controlled, that would all be ended. And people say, how could a loving God let this little person suffer or whatever else? Well, because if a loving God took over, you and I would have no chance to be like God. Not a chance at all. And then we'd be just like angels. And I suppose it's not too bad to be an angel. I love people when they say, oh, so-and-so, went to heaven. God needed another angel. Man, don't ever put that on me. I am not going to be an angel. Man, angels serve me. Angels only, they long to see what I see. They don't even get a glimpse of what it's like to be a child of God. I mean, they're just thrilled to watch you. They watch you with honor and respect, even when you're messing up. They honor and respect you. Why? Because they're just created beings that serve the Lord that way. But we are in his image, and we have a choice, and that's why the bad things happen, because God is going. He can't stop bad people from making bad choices. Otherwise, he'd have to stop everything he's got in motion. That makes sense. And yet people wrestle and fight with that every day of how could he let this happen? Well, he does it because he actually has got something so great and so wonderful for every person. So he died and he rose from the dead for a relationship, and a relationship that's directly between you and him. It's not he didn't die so you could join the church. He didn't die so you could get baptized. He didn't die so that you could sign the roll. He died and rose from the dead so that he and you could have your own relationship and your own communication, and that you would have nobody that you had to go through. Don't you think it's funny sometimes when a married couple is fighting or something, and dad says to the child, "Tell your mom that I don't like burnt toast." Or whatever it is. Have you ever had that where you get the three people there and it's always going through somebody else? And I think that's a beautiful thing, that God will never do that. If you want to talk to God, you talk directly to him. When he wants to talk to you, he'll talk directly to you. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't talk about him with each other and share. And once in a while, he might tell me, hey, go tell so-and-so that I really do love him. And we can deliver that message. But the predominant thing that God wanted when he took Christ to the grave and raised him from the dead was that he could have a communication with you all the time, anytime, directly. And that should not be forfeited for anything.